Hi there. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday workshops with me, Erin Byron. Currently, we're flowing our way through Yoga for the Creative Soul here in part two, chapter 8, exploring the 5 paths of yoga and creativity as part of our enlightenment journey. And what we know with the theme of recent weeks is that some of us attain enlightenment. Phases of enlightenment is, chapter 4 of the sutras talks about how enlightenment appears in many ways or stages or layers. But we're focusing on the path of the heart to realizing the true self. And in this context, the true self is that creative force. We are of creation. We were created. We carry a creative spark within us. And that may or may not be an artistic creative spark necessarily. That's not the point, but we are all creators of our own lives, our perspectives, and by extension of us, the world we live in. So we'll play with that a bit today as we do the activity that spans page is 118 and 119 on acting as if everything were a miracle and playing with how those synchronicities appear as signposts for us that we are on the creative path, the path of enlightenment. Check out as we convene here in virtual space where you might be convening with your loved ones, living, working, playing, creating, on whose original lands. I today am on the original lands of the Anishnawbe, the Haudenosaunee, and the neutral people adjacent to the Grand River, and the one dish with one spoon wampum agreement that brought peace to these lands generations ago. So as we connect with the true self, and as we follow this bhakti path, this yoga path defined as the path of devotion, the path of emotion, the path of the heart, those of us who in part may be on this bhakti path, who might be emotional, following our devotion, our love, our felt sense. You think about the heart chakra and the associations with that loving and devoted place. Another association is joy. Joy. And last week we played with our capacity for joy, our capacity to bask in the goodness of that virtue of joy that flows through us. Now, Einstein, to paraphrase, said that we have the option to live as though nothing is a miracle or as though everything is a miracle. And that approach of sensing the miraculous in everyday life is one that opens us to the mystical, to the joyful, to the reverent, even in the simplest of moments and activities. So let's center ourselves before we get into the activity with some heart breathing. And if you want, you can put a hand between your shoulder blades. Not everybody reaches that way. You can even use a tennis ball or something to give a little contact at the back of the heart chakra, or both hands at the front. So you can go front and back. You can find a contact point for the back and leave excuse me, both hands on the front, or just have both hands there at that heart center, center of the chest, center of the upper back. And as you breathe, allow your consciousness to find its way, your awareness to find its way to that center. And you might imagine the central point in the astral body at the location of the spine, Sushumna Nadi, the astral channel where the front and the back of the heart chakra meet, so to speak. And you may imagine yourself breathing through those cones of the chakra, inhaling front and back to that central point, and exhaling either to distribute this heart energy through the body, or exhaling back out those trumpets the way a porpoise might breathe through a blowhole. And if it helps you anchor your breath not just on a felt sense in the body, you can anchor by imagining the color green, lush June green of leaves, vital green, or you may imagine an opalescent cleansing white light, or the silver of moonlight. Inhaling directly to the heart chakra, exhaling to distribute or back out through that energy center. If you are inclined towards verbal mantra, then as you inhale, you might say to yourself, joy, or love. And as you exhale, naming again the same quality. Appreciating this opportunity to bask in that heart energy, joy, devotion, love. Set an intention from your heart. This may go along with an intention you're already living, a broad intention, or this may be an intention that you're carrying through your day. Allow that intention to anchor itself in your physical form, in your energy, in your emotions and thought fields. Make the intention real and in some way specific. Specific in word, perhaps, or specific in the way you envision the fruition of this intention, the life of this intention. What's it like when you are in alignment with it? Intention guides energy and outcomes. In other words, karma. And as we live intentionally, as we know our intention for ourselves, for our lives, for that day, hour, or moment, the intention gives us the opportunity to co-create with the divine force, creator, spirit, universe, God, however you define the divine or work with it or understand it for yourself. Our intention, understand, is an interface and interplay with that divine unitive force. So from this intention, from the acknowledgement of co-creation with that divine creative force, begin to imagine yourself as a grand creator. acknowledging the greater force that is at play. Also, affirm your openness to co-creating with the grand design. And trust that this co-creative force will give you nods and winks and nudges as you live your intention through the day. These might be very small signs. Very small signs like thinking a thought and then a bird flies by. Like saying something to someone about what you're wishing for in your life and then having your shoulder crack. They're little things, and certainly you could dismiss them as coincidences. There are not coincidences themselves, those intersections, synchronicity. So as we view life with the eyes of a creator, and as we trust the co-creative force, we also trust those seemingly insignificant signs. And within that trust, the signs get bigger, more obvious, more immediate. We're not attached to that. It is because of our openness, our non-attachment, that those signs, those indicators, those affirmations have the chance to appear for us. So as your expressive practice today, you might bring yourself to your creative space and draw or write about a synchronous moment that you encountered recently. And not necessary, but perhaps bonus points for acknowledging ways in which this synchronous moment bolstered you, supported you, strengthened you, affirmed you, guided you, acted like a signpost to say, hey, you're doing it. You're on the right path. You can take this relaxing heart breath, this meditative visualization and intention with you to your creative space, perhaps every so often while you're using descriptive language or poetry or music to describe this experience, or while you're drawing it. Maybe you'll bring that hand back to your heart center. Maybe you'll press that space between the shoulder blades, massaging it, keeping that heart-centered flow. As you move into this expressive activity, and remember that expressive arts is about the moment of expression. It is about processing, releasing, allowing, and flowing. It is not about the end product. If you can't find the rhythm or words for your poem, if you can't find the chord progression for your composition, if what you see in your mind and what draws itself on the page are very different, that's not the point. The point is in the expression. So as you are here now in some way expressing synchronicity in your life, not always can we think of a specific example. Maybe instead you can draw or write or sing this as a wish, as a prayer, as a hope. Continually revisiting your thoughts and emotions, your heart chakra, and your breath as you express and create these signposts, these coincidences. If you're watching the video rather than playing with us live right now, you're welcome to pause the video, rewind, bask in that heart relaxation breath practice. Take as much time as you want for the expressive arts. There's a bank of videos here with many themes, each based on the chapters of Yoga for the Creative Soul, where you have lots of opportunities to explore different paths of yoga, different aspects of the philosophy, the obstacles we encounter, the way our spiritual practice works with our anatomical brain. There's a great deal here, and you're always welcome to join live Wednesdays at 12:30 Eastern until 1:30. We start with a private group sharing. Time permitting, we do a private group checkout, and the part in the middle, the experiential practice you see here in these videos. Share these with anyone you think might benefit. Remember to subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified as the videos are uploaded. As you continue expressing coincidence, co-creation with unitive force, checking in with your breath, know that there is a request for you to take this openness, this collaboration on your intention you were just visualizing, to take it out into the world, to take that collaboration out into the world, the intention out into the world, knowing that the universe is supporting you, and look for those signposts in everyday life. They show up in large and in small ways. If we follow Einstein's observation of acting as if nothing is a miracle or as if everything is, then that approach of everything being a miracle would mean that we are choosing to believe in the divine force of the synchronicity, that we are choosing to forego doubt. What is doubt's purpose? How does doubt align with our intention? It typically does not support us on the spiritual path, and the Yoga Sutras have great ways of contextualizing doubt. But although all of our traditional scriptures of yoga encourage us to be discerning, they're encouraging us to discern between the material and the spiritual, and doubt is very much of this material realm. So take your time with this expressive practice. Please do feel welcome to post it to the weekly Wednesday workshops group online on Facebook. We have a group where we're sharing our expressions and sharing inspiration, motivation, thoughts. So find us there. Reach out to me with any questions or concerns. My contact information is in the description below. And thank you so much for your attention.